we are on episode number
5.
Wow.
Yep. Thank you for watching up till now. Hopefully you'll make it through this one.
And if you haven't, you can always go back and watch it, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now. Hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, because we would love to have 500 subscriptions by, let's say, August.
I thought you were going to say tomorrow.
No. If we get 500 subscriptions by tomorrow, I will buy you any toy that you want. I don't care what the price is.
I need to make hundreds of aliases.
Labmonkey number 10, Labmonkey 11, Labmonkey 12. That's right.
And you are?
I'm Mysterion.
And I'm Labmonkey number 9.
And we are lifetime toy collectors. We've been collecting for over 30 years, that's for sure.
Over 30 years, yeah.
Absolutely.
Known each other for 30 years.
Yeah, and
put up with you for 30 years.
Didn't know each other collected toys until probably only a few months in.
Yeah, we're both being sort of secret about it.
That's right. Well, back then you had to be.
Yeah.
Back
and
then,
one of the toys I'm bringing in will be from that era.
Will be a reason why you might get the knocks after you've pulled it out at a bar and showed everybody.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Did you ever bring toys to school when you were in high school, not kids' school?
High school? College I did.
Okay.
Because I was putting them into my artwork.
That's acceptable. You're allowed to. Nowadays you can do anything.
Yeah.
I remember
back then that was weird too.
Totally weird.
Yeah.
I used to buy toys from the other kids in high school. I put a sign up on the bulletin board, and it said, if you have any old toys, come to homeroom, whatever it was, and bring them, and I'll buy them.
Really?
Yeah, and I would get vintage Star Wars, little steel Star Wars figures I bought off of one kid.
Oh, is that why you like them so much? Because you bought them back then?
Well, I always loved them, but they weren't, it wasn't like now you could just go find them. Once they were gone, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't really know about toy shows back then. If they even had them, I don't think they would have been.
I don't even know they existed.
Yeah. But I remember getting some really good, rare wrestling figures for like $5. And one of them specifically is worth in the thousands now.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Alex, if you're watching. I remember who you are. Sucker! I got the Warlord off of him for $5. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, a great one. Absolutely. But I got a whole bunch of toys. And I remember once actually a teacher had 2 wrestling LJN figures in his classroom and they went missing. And I got blamed.
Right.
I got blamed.
Probably, maybe the kids stole them to try and sell them to you.
No, I had already had those 2 characters.
But
I remember the teacher saying, everyone knows you collect wrestling figures, and they went missing, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, anyway, we have some fun and exciting toys from our personal collection to show you and show one another. And, of course, if you haven't watched the show, the idea is essentially toy show and tell.
What?
I'll bleep it. You're going to see a lot of times I bleep out his birth name. And this episode, your citizen name, yeah. And this is one example where it will be bleeped. So now you understand why that bleep just happened. Labmonkey and I share our toys with one another, but we don't know what we're going to show one another.
That's right. Who's going to go first?
How about you go first?
Okay. All right.
I have no clue what he... Oh, I know what that is. Of course I know what that is. Yes.
I got this, I almost said your citizen name.
Uh-oh.
I got this from Mysterion for Christmas last year. This is King Kong. He's a bendy, which is really cool.
Yeah. Oh, please don't do that.
It's only a 1974 really valuable toy.
It's as old as I am, and those wires are going to snap.
Yeah. This is from 1974, made by AHI. And we collect a lot at AHI.
We do.
So they were known for dime store toys, rack toys, novelty toys, all that sort of cheap stuff. Cheap good stuff. A lot of monsters.
Kind of like knockoff Mego monsters.
Yeah, a lot of knockoff stuff. Because they were skirting, they got licenses for something.
Yeah, didn't they have Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
I love that little Planet of the Apes set they made.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of like DC, Marvel stuff.
That's
like they would just like, put a hairbrush and then picture of Spider-Man.
Sure.
Like shit like that.
Well, they did make little Batmobiles with pull cords.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those, and they did do some amazing pieces, and this is one of them.
And AHI stands for Azraq Hamway International.
Yeah.
And they started in 1964. And this is something I didn't know. I found out while I was doing some research on it. they acquired Remco and became Remco.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were founded in New York.
I just have it all up here.
They acquired the Remco toy name in 1974. So right when this came out.
Right before.
We collect a lot of Remco too.
So Remco is AHI.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then in 1997,
this I knew.
Jakks Pacific bought them.
That's right. This I knew.
That's the company that makes those like ridiculously giant toys. That's what Jakks Pacific is. That's what I know them for.
Yeah.
The massive toys. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we went to a toy show a few months back, just before the holidays, and this was on a table.
There was a vendor that had just the
amazing
coolest stuff. All the stuff from the 70s, 60s.
And I bought a few pieces.
He had the Remco Monster World, right?
Yeah. And then I went back to get it at that toy show a few weeks ago, and he brought me the wrong one.
Oh.
But it's still there on hold for me.
Okay, that's
good. I found money today. Remember I told you before the video, I found a lot of money in my room that I forgot that I had, and it was there, and I'm like,
you should give it to me. I'll hold on to it for you.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to buy that house off of him. I think that's a good... the Remco mini monster haunted house playset. It's has a little crypt. Anyway, this was sitting on the table. He saw it, and
it was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money, but I knew you were going to come back and buy it.
You were very nice to me at Christmas.
Well, I can be. I'm always nice to you. I'm the nicest guy, and he always puts me down. He makes me look like the bad guy. I'm such a sweetie. So I told the guy to hide it and say that it was sold, and then I would, or tell him someone else bought it, and I think I paid for it. That's right. Yeah, and then there was two of them, and to put the other one aside, so he didn't buy a double. Yeah. And then I picked it up, and you got it for Christmas. Mm-hmm. I gave you 10 Christmas presents, not just this.
I think I gave you 12.
I gave you 13 on the 13th day of Christmas. Labmonkey gave to me.
Please don't.
A blow mold of El Santo.
I thought you were going to say a blow something else.
No.
King Kong was made in 1933 in the middle of the Great Depression. Fay Ray, this is my favorite part.
Oh, absolutely.
Fay Ray. So Fay Ray was born in 1907.
That's crazy.
That is insane. She was when this was she was in her mid-20s when she shot it.
And she didn't die.
And they were in the Depression. So she got paid $10,000 to work for 10 weeks.
That's a lot for back then.
Back then, that would have been a lot of money.
That could buy you 2 houses.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, I know it could.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. A house in the Depression was actually cheaper. It was about $3,500, the average house. And she died, I believe, in either 1999 or 2000. She kept going.
Oh, she
was
died in 96.
Yeah, so 99.
It was, no, I think later. 2004 she died.
I'm off by 5 years.
And she was 96 years old. And
good for her.
2 days after she passed away, the Empire State Building lowered their lights for 15 minutes in honor of her.
Wow. I wonder what I would have to do to have the Empire State Building lower their lights. Buy it.
Sure.
Buy the Empire State Building. Donate to our Patreon right now, and I will buy the Empire State Building. Great toy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So I have a toy from 3 years after this to start things off with, and I know you're familiar with what this guy is. This is the Knight of Darkness.
He is so beautiful. I have one as well, but I don't have the gun that you have.
And so he, of course, was made by Ideal Toys.
That's right, yeah.
In late 1977. To capitalize on the Star Wars craze that was happening.
They were filling the void of the lack of Star Wars toys.
Yeah, there was just a lot of sticker swap toys that were out. Games, puzzles, and things like scrambling just to sell
absolutely
anything.
Scrambling, yeah.
And
like, oh shit, our movie is popular.
So popular that they were able to sell paper certificates at Christmas.
Star Wars figures. R2-D2. Chewbacca, Luke, and Princess Leia. They're the Star Wars Early Bird set of figures. These action figures are not yet available, but this Star Wars Early Bird certificate package is in stores. With this colorful Star Wars picture display stand and certificate, just send in to get a set of figures by mail. They'll be sent to you at home between February 1st and June 1st. The Star Wars Early Bird certificate package, new from Kenner.
Yeah.
You know, but there was this guy who obviously is I would say, clone of Darth Vader, but he's actually made out of Captain Action parts.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look at his boots, it's
Right.
the same mold, and
Yeah.
the gun is the same, and the body's the same.
Mhm.
He's essentially a
Yeah,
Captain Action.
Same height, everything.
Yeah, everything. And there were 4 figures that they made.
Mhm.
They made him. They made Zem.
No, Zem is weird.
Zem's amazing. He's like a silver C-3PO with a
Yeah.
green alien head.
Yeah.
They made the Zeroid.
Yeah, and that was being pulled from the 60s.
Yeah,
Yeah, they pulled out some old robots.
that's
and
right.
Kind of pretending they were R2-D2 and stuff.
That's right. They're kind of not.
They're so not.
But it's close enough,
Well,
I guess, for the time.
For a grandmother.
I would have liked it.
For a grandmother buying her grandson's
Yeah,
Christmas
Here you
presents.
go, kid.
Here you go.
Well, they sold incredibly well. And then when the Star Wars toys came out, they just kind of went onto the clearance aisles.
And there was
They actually
also-
made a Luke Skywalker as well in a kind of a knockoff X-Wing.
Oh.
And it's called Star Team.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know about one.
Yeah, Star Team. And they got sued by
Yes.
Lucasfilm. But they won because they had already been producing
Because of those robots from the 60s.
those robots from the
They
60s.
had already had that in place.
So this is the Lord of Darkness, and I love his domed helmet.
Ah, so good.
I
I love
mean,
his gun.
Yeah, I love
gonna
his
steal
kiss
I'm gonna mold it.
meets Phantom of the Paradise
Yeah.
meets
Kiss, Phantom of Paradise for sure.
and Darth helmet from a dark helmet from Spaceball.
I can't breathe in this thing.
And this is a detail that's really cool. I just noticed is there's like little holes so that he can listen through his helmet. Like a little detail in there.
Let's see.
Pretty neat.
So anyway, that is my Lord of Darkness from Ideal, 1977-78.
Cool.
Very fun toy. Great toy line.
Yeah.
And still moderately easy to get and somewhat affordable.
Yeah.
I remember when these you couldn't give them away.
Yeah. They are affordable.
Find in the shot. Leave them there. Otherwise, I think he'll cover me up. What else do you have? Look at this. Wait, didn't I get you her too?
Yes.
Oh, are these all things I bought you for Christmas?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just the first one and the second one.
Okay.
But look at that. She is. I collect. I collect not the real Rangers,
That's right.
but I like to collect the knockoff Rangers. But what I really like is when they mix RoboCop and Rangers together, and you can't tell which one it is.
I'd buy that for $1.
Mhm.
Like this one's more. This is more Power Ranger.
That's right.
But I have some that are like that sort of like weird middle ground between RoboCop and like Power Rangers. But this one is beautiful. Like the pink is beautiful, and the gun. Check out that.
You're beautiful. Will you marry me?
I can't get my gun out fast enough.
Neither can I.
Oh no! Actually, I don't think her gun comes out.
No, don't break
Wow.
her.
Okay. Yeah, the gun is very securely in her
When do you think
holster.
she's from? Mid-90s?
I would say mid-90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came out in 1993, 93, and that was my guilty pleasure. Like
That was it.
I was like in my 20s.
Yeah, that's about right. So was I.
Yeah, it was just like I watched it and I liked
They
it.
make a lovely couple, they do.
They do,
Look
yeah.
at this.
But it was definitely my guilty pleasure because it was a terrible, terrible show, but fun at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was the one where all the footage, most of the footage was taken from the Japanese show, and then they inserted all the American.
Saban bought the different shows
yeah.
and
And then
made them into
They just did their
Saturday
they
morning
put in their
programming.
American counterparts and
Yeah.
did like high school stuff.
to create a story.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the action scenes were from Japan.
All of that was.
I
fun.
remember when that came on, my little sister loved it.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Consumers Distributing, which was a Canadian shop where you'd go in and they had a catalog. You'd have to find what you wanted and put the number down on a form and give it to someone who would go down in the basement and bring it back.
Basically,
And it was
walking-
wrong.
Basically, walking into the store was just one giant counter,
Yeah.
and then posters of the dreams of things you hope they had.
But they
You
had
didn't know if they had
zero.
them.
But they had zero theft. That's why they existed. They had no shoplifters.
You couldn't.
Do you know you couldn't unless it was internal. Do you know I went into a Consumers Distributing right before they folded, which I would imagine was around the early 2000s. I think they existed until 99, 2000. But I remember going in there when I was about 14 years old, and there was a bin that was out there with all discounted toys, and they had, for $1, Cyborg from the Superpowers. They were $1, and there was probably about 15 of them in this bin. And I just went, who wants that?
Oh, they are worth so much.
And then I had a second chance to get a Cyborg and passed it down, which was only 15 years ago. And it was at Silver Snail, which is a very famous Toronto comic and toy store, when they were at their old location on Queen Street. And I went in, and they had the Cyborg figure carded in a display case for 200 Canadian. And at the time,
That was a lot of money,
it was a bit of money, but it was also one of those things that I could afford. Hey, listen, they had Amazing Fantasy for Spider-Man for $10,000, and it was in really nice shape. Both of those purchases, I mean, I would go for obviously the comic book because that would be just an astronomical jump in value. But the Cyborg itself for $200 was doable, and I had a friend that worked there, could have got me 15% off, and I just didn't buy it. What did I buy? Who knows? A Conan Omnibus or something dumb that I don't care for. Anyway, my next item, I'm just going to reach over and see what I can find. Oh, I know what this is. You know what this is, too.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't have him.
So that's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
steal him.
Move him over here. Move in a little. So this is I'm
going to Uncle borrow him.
It ain't going to happen. Ooh. If you're watching, you know what that meant. Monster Man by Soma.
Yeah.
1986.
That sounds right.
These came out.
Yeah.
And there's different types of monsters that were created. There's one that I really want, and he's all melting. And I think you have him. You have him.
I've got one.
Yeah.
He's all melting, and he's got one tooth.
Yeah, that's right. And these were, these were monsters that were made for, they were their version of Inhumanoids.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
I watched the video on that.
Yeah, they were the version knockoff by Soma. And of course, Soma make Fantasy World. They make all sorts of knockoff toys.
Soma. We collect a lot of Soma.
Yeah, little Soma PVC figures from My Pet Monster and Robin Hood and Pirates and that sort of thing. Ninjas, lots of Soma's ninjas, even tiny little Soma wrestlers. But
I have some of the wrestlers too.
Yeah, and there are 5-inch Soma wrestlers as well that have cloth goods and belts, but they're just repaints of the Fantasy World figures. So they're wonderful figures, but they're just a little bit too Fantasy World. They don't really become wrestlers the same way like a
in the middle of
like a Sun Gold character can become a wrestler, but the Soma fantasy character kind of can't because they have on molded medallions and
kind of
gauntlets.
medieval,
they're very medieval looking.
Medieval fantasy,
But this guy is one of the Soma monster men, and I absolutely love these. I'm going to try to find more of these on our trips and add them to the collection.
Hopefully I can beat you.
What do you got?
Okay, so this is my... Oh, I forgot to... This is my my last one, so I need special glasses.
Oh, the glasses. Oh, you know what I'm going to do?
I need special glasses for this.
Put mine back on. There we go. They're so flashy and bright. How many pairs of glasses do you own?
Lots.
What does it say on there? 40 years old? Oh, look at him.
Look at that.
Look at him.
Isn't he beautiful?
Mexican
blow mold. And I got this from my friend Extra Truck Estriel. I did a little trade. And yeah, he got this.
He's amazing.
He's beautiful, right?
Absolutely. I kind of want to eat him. It's bubblegum flavored.
And he...
Does he stand?
Pretty
almost.
He almost.
You might want to put a little piece of tape there to hold it. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll stand.
It's pretty close to standing. Like a lot of Mexican blow molds
There we go.
don't stand, but he's doing pretty good.
Oh, he wants to attack. He is
And
fantastic.
he's got like these cute little ears that get popped in.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's got this. You can see he's got this long skinny tail that just pops in as well.
His patch is a sticker.
Yeah. The sticker on here. The paint is pretty good on this face, and the likeness is pretty good. And I looked up the origin of him, and it's from the first movie is from 1964.
Sure.
Peter Sellers, and there was a diamond.
The diamond's called the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
there's an imperfection in the middle of the diamond, and it looks like a Pink Panther
jumping. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he's sort of a caricature.
It came out of that movie, and then it became a whole
Clouseau
its own thing. Yeah.
With Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
Does you dig that? Oh? Oh. Let's dig it. I thought you said your dog did not bite.
That is not my dog.
When do you think this is from?
I would say 70s, maybe 80s.
Wow. Very cool piece.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, I think I have one more to show you, but it's sort of a 2-part toy.
Oh, and I have a secret bonus toy. Maybe.
Okay, so
If
this
we have
is
time.
no, we have time.
Okay.
I think we have time. So in 1980-81, Poppy Toys in Japan released the first set of professional wrestling figures. Actually, if you go back to 1969, Bullmark released 4 Safubi figures that are technically the first wrestling figures of all time. They are.
Okay.
But in terms of American characters, Poppy put out 10 figures, and only one was a Japanese wrestler. The other ones were characters like Hulk Hogan, and characters that were popular and known at the time, like Stan Hansen. So that's an example of a Poppy. He only has 3 points of articulation of the lariat Stan Hansen. And then the line just sort of fell into obscurity, and recently has become one of the more popular and most expensive to collect. Wow. To get the whole set, you're looking at around 13 grand. But that being said, a gentleman in Australia, he acquired the license to the style of the figure and started to make current figures of guys they never made from the time, and even guys that are current now. And this one, I have to say, is my favorite Japanese wrestler of all time. He's probably my favorite wrestler of all time. And he's based on the Japanese superhero Tiger Mask. And that is the Tiger Mask Poppy that was just recently made. This is brand new. Looks like it's from the 80s.
I remember you getting this.
It is just a beautiful figure, and he fits in perfectly with the other ones. I bought all the ones that he made. He did another 12 or 13 he's at right now. He doubled the line and added some. Look at the back. Look at the...
I mean, Tiger Mask is a really cool character.
Very cool figure. Very cool. And if you have not seen his work, check him out. Junk Shop Dog. And it is just second to none. These are so well made, and they really capture the exactness of the
sculpts are really good.
Oh, they're phenomenal. They fit right in. You wouldn't know unless you had the originals and you already knew they were all there. I mean, the plastic is even similar. I mean, I wouldn't want to drop either of these. This seems a little more durable, whereas Stan Hansen is very firm, and I would be afraid that if he dropped, he would shatter.
Just a more softer.
Just a little softer, but you wouldn't know. You really wouldn't know. And the detailing, Tiger Mask, he's such a cool wrestler. He could actually run up his opponents.
And there's a cartoon too, right?
There's a cartoon.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that I can find translated, so I really don't know much about the character himself. But I do know he was based on the cartoon, and I do know that the company got the rights to make this figure because they still have a wrestler representing Tiger Mask. There's been 5 Tiger Masks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is the original Tiger Mask, and that's how we circumvented the loophole.
I see.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, that's my third toy for this episode. What are you drinking?
This is...
Oh yes, Panache.
Panache Blood Orange.
Didn't they send us...
we got a crate of this.
More than a crate. I would say it's a truckload down in the basement. I filled the turtle pool out back with us and invited over some women.
Yep.
All right, I'm kidding. I don't have a turtle pool.
Blood Orange.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
I got one more as a bonus.
Bonus toy. Always love a bonus. Okay, I'm going to feel it and see if I can guess what it is.
Okay.
I always like doing this. I remember about a decade ago, I was taking Lego figures. Somebody was passing me Lego figures. I would put them in my mouth and try to figure out who they were, and I would guess them right. Well, this is definitely a Marx figure. I'm gonna say, it's the werewolf. You know what? It's a very good guess because I think he's molded from the werewolf.
Maybe.
I think it's the same
I
mold.
think they call it Catwoman. It's called. His name is Catwoman. But it's not really Catwoman, and it also looks like Hellcat color. The tail has been sculpted on.
Wow.
The body is obviously from. It's like a Marx that's been shrunken down. I'm not sure which figure it is.
I'm gonna go get
grab
werewolf
your
and
werewolf.
see
It could be similar.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and I can see it's very similar. By chance, what do you think? You think it's the same? I think it's the same.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's the werewolf.
It's just a little bit smaller,
Yeah.
which is very typical for the Mexican bootlegs. They shrink them a little bit.
And they completely re-sculpted the
Absolutely.
chest and the. But yeah, that's
the
same
pose.
pose.
Yeah, good
Look
one.
at that.
And her mask is really interesting. And her check out the belt.
I'm jealous.
The
phenomenal.
belt is so misaligned.
Yeah, it just falls.
And I love that they paint it. Like they don't try it. Like it would be pretty weird to try and but they paint it misaligned, which is amazing. I love that.
Is it a separate piece or just kind of?
It's just I think the
Oh, I see. The mold doesn't line up. Look
Yeah,
at that, guys.
not at all. Yeah.
I want one. I want one of these.
I'll look out for one.
Please.
I'll ask my dealer to find one.
Oh yeah, your Mexican dealer.
He's awesome.
All right, fantastic. Well, that's another episode of Toy Surprise. I hope you learned something about this wild assortment of different figures that we brought them
very
today.
different, yeah.
I mean, we never know what we're going to even have. Even we don't know what each other are going to bring.
That's right.
If you haven't
Surprise.
subscribed, it is a surprise. And if you haven't subscribed, please do right now. Tell a friend, share it on a toy forum, share it on Facebook, Instagram, and let's get this channel absolutely on fire. See, I'm immune, but watch this. Fucking he cries like a baby.